Why?
Like I cheated on, loyalty.
That's what we talking about. We talking about cheating. That's perfect. Look, it say stop, so you gotta stop and talk to it.
That's great.
So.
So, what are your views on cheating?
I don't like cheating.
You don't like cheating?
No, like,
why?
What's the point of cheating? If you're gonna cheat, why are you in a relationship in the first place?
Exactly. So, what do you think causes people to cheat?
There's no excuse on cheating, period. Like, I don't care. If you don't get too much attention, talk to it with your partner. Don't go and look for it somewhere else. Like, I'm not here. No.
Exactly. So, do you think cheating can be avoided in any way? Like,
Yes.
how? How so?
Talk to your partner. Stop making excuses. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
So,
no.
Why don't people talk? Do you think young people?
Because they scared. They scared their partner's gonna leave them. They're gonna leave you anyways.
Do young people know how to talk to their partners? Do they have like adults modeling healthy
No.
relationships?
No. They just hook up with the next person and call it a day because they're dumb. They're stupid.
Well, along with cheating comes hygiene, because if you're gonna be out here cheating, you gotta keep it clean or whatever, because you can't be out here being dirty and cheating on somebody.
Yeah, but some people just don't care.
What do you think is some examples of good hygiene?
First of all, protect yourself. Take a shower daily because
Right.
these people get nasty. Use protection. Stop being stupid.
Right.
Like, you gonna catch a disease and spread it everywhere. That's just how it all starts.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
We appreciate you. Thank you for your honesty. You got anything you want to add on the subject?
I don't get cheated.
Hey, that's a fact. You do the cheating.
Right.
Let's talk about hygiene first. How important do you think hygiene is to young people? Do you think young people take their own personal hygiene as serious as they should? So people like you, meaning, all right, and so you are self-defined bougie. No, this is great.
Why'd you say self-defined?
Because you said it yourself, right? I didn't say that. So, what makes a person bougie? How does a person, because this is very interesting. So, why would a bougie person versus somebody else care more about their hygiene?
I carry myself in such a manner where I don't like to be dirty. I don't take bullshit from people. That's me as a bougie person.
Okay. And so, what is the opposite of a bougie person?
A ghetto person.
Okay. And so, how do we define a ghetto person?
I feel like a ghetto person could be anybody. Like, it just depends on like your mindset and what you think is okay. Like, a lot of people who are considered ghetto are like don't take care of themselves, all over the place, like don't know what they want to do, they wishy-washy. That's kind of all over the place, that definition.
As we talk about wishy-washy, let's get back to the subject of hygiene and folks wishy and washy. Folks getting their wishy-washy on in our community.
I feel like people aren't like washing themselves or like taking care of themselves. Probably they could be like really narcissistic about themselves. Maybe they feel like that, oh, I'm so perfect. Like even a bougie person could be like unhygienic. They'd be like, oh, I'm so perfect. I probably don't need to wear deodorant or something like that. Like if you don't.
Nobody is thinking that.
Like you don't.
Speaking on direct experience.
Like you don't. Like you could be like.
He's throwing the shade.
Serious, like
This just became the shade room.
Oh my god. I'm being like 100% serious. Like people, like even like people that are bougie can be unhygienic.
Yeah. So, what are your feelings about cheating, and why do you think people cheat?
I just feel like it's just a thing. I don't know, people do along while getting older. Like a lot of people make mistakes. A lot of people, I don't know, just do things, just trying to move on. Like I know a lot of people that do it and they don't even want to, but I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just things going on in their life that they don't know how to control, so they do it in ways that benefit them.
Okay. So what is your views on micro cheating?
Shoot, any type of cheating, I don't think it's okay, but I feel like we all go through it at a point in time, just for experience. It happens, you grow, you learn from it, and that's the best I could.
Yeah, what's your definition of micro cheating?
Micro cheating, like just small stuff, I have to say, like,
Example?
you know, like just a typical small flirting, knowing what you're doing. You know what you're doing is gonna cause to be a really bad problem. You know it's gonna be something big in the past, but as of right now, it's just really small. But you don't see it as it being small right now. You see it as, I'm just flirting. I'm just gonna, you know what I'm saying? Just something small.
So what's the difference between micro cheating and jealousy?
Jealousy, I'll have to say, very contagious. It's not something that a lot of people can just be like, oh, I'm not jealous at all. Like, I don't know. I think it's just a feeling that you really care about the other person. You really care about them to the point where you don't really want them to be with anybody else or just look at anybody else how they look at you.
Okay. So how do you think cheating affects your mental health? Both sides.
Both sides. I guess if you're the one doing the cheating, I have to say your mental health, you know you're doing bad, you know you feel guilty, you know the other person doesn't deserve that. On the other side, they're heartbroken or they're hurt. It's not something that anybody deserves. It's yeah, so I think it brings down both people.
We hear a lot that young men don't take their hygiene that serious. So how important do you think is hygiene for young men in general, not even just yourself?
100%, very, very, very important. Like, it's something that it should just be common sense. Like, oh, I'm gonna have safe sex. I'm going to just be smart about my actions. Make sure I'm clean. Make sure I'm okay, so that I don't destroy anybody else's life, or most important, mine.
Yeah. Shout out to the homie. Word. We definitely appreciate you. That's all I had. Thank you, bro. Much love, bro. Thank you.
I feel like I was just talking about this with my friends. This is so weird at the lunch table, because this one girl at my school, she always said, somebody stink. Like, you know, it's that one girl that always talking about somebody stink. And then, like, I was like, every time, if someone smells that day, like let's say somebody left their deodorant at home, or somebody ran out the house and was late and couldn't brush their teeth, that one day somebody smelled them like, oh, they stink today. And then they get a record of like, oh, she stink, I remember that day that she stink. Like, it could be one day, like you know what I mean? And it's just like, come on, like that's disrespectful, but there are people who don't take care of their hygiene, and it's like, it sucks, but everybody has to find, you know. When I was younger, I had older problems. People used to make fun of me and tell me like, you need to wash up with this, blah blah, you stink, blah blah, all that type of stuff. So now I know how to take care of myself. I keep it in my bag, I keep it in my deodorant, because I know I'll rush out the house without put deodorant on, so I have extra deodorant in my purse, have lotion, I have hand sanitizer, have stuff like that just in case, you know, because I learned from my mistakes. So if you gotta learn into these things, so we can't really bully people about their hygiene unless we help them with it.
So would you say, I know you got something, so would you say like the bullying worked out? Or what were the effects of the bullying? Because it sounded like it kind of made you more like self-aware, even though it may have had negative impacts on your mental health.
Yeah, I guess
tell
so.
me if I'm wrong though.
My sisters and stuff, I have a lot of sisters, and it's 4 of us. So if I stink, they're gonna take her to stink. So I got it from my family and just them helping me. But it's, when I think of like the people who bully me and stuff like that, it does help, like, yeah, self-confidence to be more self-conscious, but that could also be damaging. You could look pretty and everything on the outside and be smelling the best smelling person, but have a mind, just to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or you can do what?
She said you could be ugly and dirty.
Dirty and ugly, yeah.
But
I'm gonna edit that out.
saying like, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. It's like, if it's a one day thing, everybody's human, everybody has their days, stuff, we're not on point or whatever. But if it's a continuous thing, if it's every day, like some people
was asking.
And it's not like they don't have the resources and stuff.
That was my next question.
Have a job, get some soap. Don't take me to soap. Take a shower. But I say like for some people they might not be as fortunate as other people, and they might not have the money and stuff to wash up. So you can't just go and bully people because you don't know what they live in standards and stuff. Right? You just pick on them just because you don't know what they're going through.
And some people may not even know or be unaware. Or have like or just have like some like kind of like probably like not a problem because like I sweat from my armpit a lot. Whenever I'm hot, I don't sweat from my head or from my arm or anything like that. I sweat from my armpits when I'm nervous, when I'm everything. It's just like I wear deodorant. It's just I sweat a lot from my armpits.
Well, deodorant is deodorant, so it's master odor. Antiperspirant.
Yeah, antiperspirant deodorant. Yeah.
So you do both.
Yeah.
Antiperspirant. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I still just sweat. Like it's just.
So it just no matter what you do.
Yeah, but like that. But I don't stink. So like I'm sweating right now. I don't stink, but like.
It's that deodorant.
It's hot. I mean, it's not hot. It's just it's something that happens. But like some people may like do sports a lot or like run around a lot or just sweat a lot in general. They could be a general sweaty person.
No excuses. Wash up. That's it.
So like after you wash up, you can even after you wash up, you can still sweat.
I get that,
sweat,
but like
so
I say with sweat and stuff, it's just a natural thing. Like, and he sweats a whole lot, but he still makes sure he washes up. He keeps his hygiene right, and being a bigger person and stuff, he knows he has to wash up and stuff because he knows he's gonna sweat a lot. He knows.
Yeah, because
when he's thinking of, so I just feel like it's up to you to go and do your business to make sure you know.
Yeah, like I have a thing with antiperspirant deodorant in my book bag right now, but I'm still in the sweat.
So, what do you guys think about? Because though like I hear everything you're saying, I don't like disagree with nothing because this is y'all experience. What do you guys think about? Because this is something that I've come across. Young people in particular, like especially young people like high school age teenagers and stuff like that, who like don't feel safe taking a shower or washing up. So, for example, there may be some thieves in the house. So if I go take a shower, like one of my cousins or brothers or whoever is in this house, whoever we living with, may steal my clothes, right? Or they may steal from me in general. Or there may not be enough washcloths or rags in the house for me to use. There may not be a washing machine in this house. I mean, if I took a shower, where am I going to get my clean clothes from? Am I going to like hand wash them in the tub? And then with what soap am I hand washing them with? Then where will I dry them at without having moldy smelling house or room? If I put them in the bathroom, I cannot use that bathroom now because I have clothes drying in there, so nobody can shower or wash their own clothes because it will make it more damp in this room. The other thing is, what if I don't feel comfortable taking a shower because somebody may come in and try to molest me or rape me, and it has happened before, or I know what this person is capable of. For example, you have a young person who may have a step parent who is abusive to them and may be left home with them. They may already be living in poverty and messed up situations where they don't got to wash or dry or whatever the case may be. And this young person may not feel comfortable stripping and being vulnerable in a shower with this predator, potential predator, in the house. So I've come across, unfortunately, a lot of young women who either have had that experience where it's like, my stepdad rapes me. Not about to take a shower, he's in the house at all, right? So then I've also had a situation where a young lady who hit puberty very early, her mother neglecting her, refused to buy her underwear. So this is a young lady who doesn't have a bra, can't afford to wear a bra, and so like she doesn't feel comfortable like taking off her coat in places because all she has is a t-shirt or a thin shirt. So it can be hot, but she doesn't want to like be revealing because she also has a history of being sexually assaulted as well too. So she doesn't want to like be revealing. So mommy's not buying her underwear. So if you wonder why is she wearing pajama pants and jeans? Mommy's not buying her panties. And so what do we think about those situations that we may not be aware of? Me just tossing those types of situations out there.
I feel like that is a predicament that people have, like these days, or like things like that. Like for like I've never been like molested in that way, or like was like scared to take a shower in my home. But I'm afraid to take showers in like locker rooms and stuff like that. Like I've never been in a school locker room. I've never been in a school shower. My health science, the school I went to didn't have like locker rooms, stuff like that, so I didn't have to worry about that. But like I like in my school, like when I went to school in Atlanta, they had locker rooms and stuff. I told them whenever I did gym, I told them I was like, I'm not going in the locker room. I'm not changing in there. I'm not going in there at all. Not because I have been, but just because like I don't feel comfortable with like other people in there. That doesn't mean I necessarily stink, but I can understand how a person would like feel like uncomfortable or like scared or like in a way wouldn't want to like take showers. Like you don't know what's going on in their household.
So, answering that question about people who have other situations and different predicaments that we would never think about because that's just not our experience. I feel like after a while, like if you know someone is just like, because I was even talking about this like last week, like there's this one dude at my school that everybody's like, oh, he stink, like why can't you just wash up? I'm like, at this point, just be quiet, like stop talking about him. You already talked about him enough. You already talked about the person. If the issue is at hand, or you already told them, they already know, like why are you still talking about it? They know you already done enough damage. So like, it's at that point where you people are just moral and treat people how they want to be treated. If you know somebody smells, if you told them about it, if you were respectful, if you didn't laugh in their face, maybe, you know, they're not going to tell you about everything that's going on at home, so you can't even, you don't even know. And the things that maybe if someone does have a job, just piggybacking off you, if they don't have a settled household, they need to pay rent, they need to pay gas and stuff like that. They don't have extra money for, you know, all of the necessities that they need. So you never know anyone's background, and we really can't be like, oh, they stink or they stink. And it also helps with you telling me that. It also allows self-evaluation because we don't know. I never heard of any experience like that. And I know in the back of my mind, like women are getting raped and things like that. Just like, you know, put like trauma, like informed care, like put things, because that's what I was kind of worried about when you said those words, like put like a warning for discretion like before, because there's a lot of content people could get triggered by. Just that's what was on my mind. But yeah, so just be respectful of other people and don't like, just because their hygiene isn't on the 10th level and isn't perfect, they don't have Victoria's Secret perfume, they don't have the best lotions, don't mean that you have to just believe them.
Okay. That's a great, I almost don't want to ask my next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So like, in terms of like hygiene and puberty, how do young people deal with like the hygiene of like their developing bodies, where like maybe they had hair in places they didn't have hair before, like this year they didn't have places there last year, or maybe for some young women they may start their periods this year, or they may not have strong women figures or proper hygiene as far as how to take care of like their reproductive health. So in terms of like reproductive hygiene specifically, what are like your thoughts on like issues and solutions, and just in general on like youth reproductive hygiene, so making sure your privates are kept spick and span?
I guess when you hear like the more hair, the more respect.
Yeah.
You think so? So I would say if you are into it, shave instead.
Okay.
Shave, but if you don't shave, just make sure that you wash it first.
Clean,
Yeah, clean very thoroughly, because if your candy that's been touched will be left to rot. That came
No, cause like, like you did, but you didn't. Like you made a great point. I just don't know if folks is gonna receive it. So like.